Am I still bullish on MultiversX? Yes, because I still think that its native token called EGLD could hypothetically go to the price of $1,000 during this bull run. And of course, that's not a guarantee. Also, that's not financial advice. But if I take a look at MultiversX at its core, I think it's one of the best decentralized blockchain networks out there because, first of all, what do people often look for when it comes to this type of thing, so to speak? They want something that's scalable. They want something that's secure. And that's exactly what MultiversX is. But the cherry on top when it comes to MultiversX, in my opinion, is that it has the right focus. Because after all, if a project has Kaka focus, it's not really going to go anywhere. But if you take a look at this, right? As a matter of fact, MultiversX claims that they are the most advanced blockchain architecture in the world and the most impactful ecosystem spanning DeFi, NFTs, Web3, and the metaverse. Now, more specifically, though, when it comes to these markets, sometimes people think that, DeFi, the hype is gone. They think NFTs are caca. They think that the metaverse is complete trash. But I disagree because even though in 2021, those markets really did pop off and there was a lot of hype, but I think better days are ahead because oftentimes I think people don't understand its potential. Because for instance, according to something called Grandview Research, they do predict that both the NFT and DeFi market, each individually by 2030, is expected to be worth over $200 billion. Again, each, right? It's market size. So that's combined over $400 billion, which is kind of insane if you really think about it. That's bigger than a lot of countries' GDP. So yeah, it's no joke. And guess what's going to happen, right? Once the hype for DeFi, NFTs, they jump back in again, it's going to be these amazing projects that are heavily focused on that. They're going to go along with the ride. So I don't think it's a bad thing at all that they're focused on NFTs, DeFi. I don't think it's caca by any means. Now, let's take a look at the metaverse because this right here is kind of a sensitive topic sometimes because when people take a look at it, they're like, the metaverse, it's kind of done. It's caca, it's trash, all this. There's no hope for it. But I disagree because even according to McKinsey, and I think we can all agree that McKinsey is very reputable. I mean, everyone's pretty much heard about it. But even besides that, they do predict that, the metaverse could reach up to $5 trillion in value by 2030. So it's not really that far away at this point. We're nearing 2025. So it's basically just, 5 years away. And I get it again. Sometimes people think that, the metaverse is kind of a caca thing to talk about. But yeah, I disagree. I think there's a lot of potential. I think better days are ahead, even though sometimes people just don't like the metaverse for whatever reason. But I still do. I still believe in it. And I still believe in the future of MultiversX. However, besides that point, what I really love about MultiversX is that it's actually very environmentally friendly. Now, some people may think that, okay, this is just something I'm making up or it's just some caca gimmick, but that's actually not true because if you take a look at it, again, MultiversX is fully carbon neutral, which is insane. That's on par with something like Algorand, by the way. But besides that, why is being carbon neutral going to be beneficial to something like MultiversX? In my opinion, it's because if you actually take a look at it, right, enterprises nowadays, they care about the environment. They want to showcase that they're sustainable. They want to showcase how they're making, an effort, right, towards, having a green environment, so to speak. So what is a way to kind of showcase that? I think, in my opinion, it's by adopting technology that's environmentally friendly, much like MultiversX, that is fully carbon neutral. Because if you actually think about enterprises that are looking to, adopt blockchain technology, especially ones that care about the environment or have this type of mindset, of course, they're going to want to choose something that is environmentally friendly, even though it may not necessarily have like the most dynamic use case. Because just imagine this. Let's say MultiversX is being put head to head, right, with a competitor. And let's say the competitor has like slightly better fundamentals, but then it's not carbon neutral. I think even then MultiversX is going to have an edge because they're going to weigh those factors. They're going to say, whoa, okay, maybe MultiversX may not be, good in this case, right, hypothetically, compared to its competitor. But because it's carbon neutral, that gives it, that special added unique selling point. Now, let alone if, let's say, fundamentals are pretty much even, then it's really a no-brainer, right? I think 9 times out of 10, MultiversX is going to win anyways. So, yeah, I think being fully carbon neutral is so beneficial to something like this. And I think this is the genius mindset that they have because, if you think about it, a lot of other competitors, they don't really care. They're like, yeah, whatever. They're focused on the retail market, all this type of stuff. But MultiversX, because they understand that enterprises care about this, in my opinion, which is why they're focused on this. Now, I think this actually brings me to my next topic because if you think about it, a lot of projects out there that are focused on like the retail market, for instance, they don't really have to care about this type of stuff. But projects, in my opinion, which are geared for enterprise adoption, which I do think that MultiversX is, this is going to benefit them. And you have to think about how the enterprise market has so much potential, I think far greater than the retail market, because if you take a look at back in history, what fostered the growth of the internet? Was it enterprise adoption or retail adoption? It was primarily driven through enterprise adoption. And the reason for that is because enterprises, they have the capital, they have the resources, and they have the, quite essentially the volume to facilitate that type of growth. And again, history doesn't always repeat itself, but it tends to rhyme. We've seen what happened with the internet when it comes to enterprise adoption. That allowed the internet to just, elevate to a whole nother level. And I think it's going to be no different when it comes to the world of blockchain technology, because even though a lot of AI projects, a lot of meme coin projects, they have a lot of hype, sometimes people ignore these enterprise optimized projects, much like MultiversX. So once that wave for enterprise adoption kicks in, once it's in fifth gear, so to speak, guess who's going to be there to catch the wave? It's going to be something like MultiversX, because again, they are enterprise optimized in a sense that they're very secure, very scalable, lightning fast, highly decentralized. And I really love that when it comes to MultiversX. So with all that taken into consideration, like EGLD at the price of $1,000 is crazy? No, I don't think so. Because if let's say it were to go to the price of $1,000, at that point, market cap would be around $27 billion. Now I get it, that's over like a 30x from here. Some people may think, okay, that's kind of trash. That's kind of like, impossible. But I disagree. We've seen like Shiba Inu reach around 40 billion. We've seen Doge reach over 80 billion. We've seen BNB reach over $100 billion in market cap. So I don't think it's crazy at all. This isn't some ridiculous milestone. If I'm saying like EGLD's going to go to like 300, $200 billion market cap, then okay, I get it. Some people may think, okay, that's kind of insane. But if it's just like around 27 billion, I don't think it's crazy, especially when you consider the Bitcoin ETF. The number of institutional investors just through the roof. Enterprise adoption for Bitcoin is amazing. As Bitcoin does reach those great heights, like 150,000, let's say, could you imagine what happens to altcoins? It's going to go along with the ride. And at that point, EGLD at the price of $1,000, I don't see why not. And you have to take into consideration how, usually altcoins is a worst case scenario. They peak around a year and a half after a Bitcoin halving event. The Bitcoin halving event happened back in April. So a year and a half is basically October next year. That's a worst case, by the way, but it could happen sooner. But either way, I'm prepared because I'm dollar cost averaging into EGLD. I'm just acquiring, holding, and just waiting. That's it. Because I think better days ahead. And I think around a year from right now, things could look so different. All I got to do is stay patient. And why would I not stay patient? There's currently over 600 million crypto owners. So could you imagine, the amount of FOMO, buying pressure, buying volume that could result as of that? It's going to be insane. I think this altcoin season is going to look so different than we saw back in 2021. Back then, there was roughly 50% less crypto owners, even during the peak of that bull run. Also on top of that, way less institutional investors adoption back then as well. So I think this time around, things could look so different. That's why I'm paying attention to MultiversX. I think it's going to shock the world. I think EGLD at the price of $1,000 during this bull run wouldn't surprise me whatsoever, especially with all those amazing factors taken into consideration. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain. I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.